Welcome to the Iron Horse Route, home of the Denver Rio Grand Western. This is Brian. I'm glad you're here, and if you're not already a subscriber, I want to encourage you to subscribe, because when you're a subscriber here, you get access to a lot of great model railroad video uploads. And so now that you're subscribed, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video upload, which is coming up right now.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Hey there, how is everyone? Let's see. Connection stabilizing. Yeah, a little bit. Hey there, John, how you doing? I got a new chair, and it's more comfortable. Hey, Dave BNSF, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome. Doing good? Happy Thanksgiving almost. I will be streaming tomorrow evening also, so I don't know that this is my Thanksgiving stream, but I actually could be streaming some Thanksgiving in the morning. Just depends. I gotta cook and stuff though. I need to go get some groceries. I need some money in my bank account. Santa Claus is coming to town. It's kind of weird. I've worked for the same place for a long time, and forever we would get paid before the Thanksgiving break. And reason being is we get paid once a month, and we get paid before the Christmas break normally too. And so it's kind of a blessing and kind of not, because what happens is if you get paid before the Christmas break, sometimes you get paid like the 16th, 17th of December and don't get paid again until the 1st of February. And so that's rough. And but anyway, normally we usually get paid before Thanksgiving, and we haven't the past couple of years. I'm not sure why, but if I didn't spend too much on Christmas, it wouldn't matter. But I do have work to do. So I've got an in-scale ski lodge to do. And the in-scale ski lodge I'm doing, when I lived out in Colorado, we always would go to Winter Park on the weekends to go snow skiing. Had friends who were travel agents, so sometimes we got free rooms out there. And that's where the Iron Horse comes from, because we always would stay at the Iron Horse Resort. And the ski lodge at Winter Park has been there since like the 30s or the 20s, maybe even. I can't remember. I did a history video, but it's been like 4 years now. So what I did is I did a recreation for my layout several years ago. Probably about 3 years ago. I did the ski lodge, and it's called the Balcony House. And I did the version what it looked like in the 1950s. And for back when I did that, I did a fairly good job of replicating it for how long ago I did that. Now I have tweaked the model some since, because I have sold some, and but what I haven't done is I haven't had the assembled ones up for very long. It was the beginning of this year, I think, that I started putting. They were always I just always did the kits, because I always hang out with all y'all, and we like to put stuff like that together. We'd want to do it ourselves. And I never really considered that there are a lot of people out there who maybe they work in a scale that has gotten a little bit too small for them to do some of the finer accessories and things like that. But they got a layout, you know what I mean? So when they want to add to it, I guess sometimes and then if you get somebody who's getting a gift, you can find that they want it. But long story short, I finally got one of the ski lodges to do assembled. And that's an N scale one. I wish somebody would do an HO scale one assembled for me, because I think that's going to be a really pretty model. But I do have an N scale one to do, and it is basically, I did it all in gray. I didn't print it in brown. I did it all in the gray, and then I'm going to airbrush the walls. Brown is where we're going to start the series, actually, because the bases are all gray. Like so. And it's 6 buildings that fit together, and the footprints, I want to say it's 480, or this in the lower 500 inches. And so because all 5 of these, one of these goes over here, building 1 goes over here, and then you got 3, a little one here, and then you got 4 and 5 go beside each other, and 6. So, you know, you're looking at this, and so it's a nice footprint. I actually have scaled it down, probably about 8%, since I made it myself, because that was one of the mistakes that I did make on the one that I made for me. Was that when I went in and I checked the doors and stuff, they were a little bit too big. And so I found that if I scaled everything down, I think it was maybe 7% that I ended up scaling it down. But the benefit of that is not as much filament, doesn't take as long to print. I could fit more on a print deck, etc., and so on. So went to Train Fest in Milwaukee. Only money I spent was admission. Then I went to the hobby shop I used to hang out with and spend $80 there. What did you get? Well, what was for $80? And so at Train Fest, were there not really much to offer, or were you just behaving really well? And then this guy right here sits on top of this one. It's got a raft on it now, and it holds the walls for this set. I didn't show you that. And then you got the roofing. And the inserts for the roofing, so they fit on, and so basically all 6 buildings have tops that lift off, so you can access the interior for whatever you want to do. If you want to do an interior, in scale interior seems small to me. I'm willing to try an HO scale interior for this. I don't think that I could get a I don't think I could get a good print. Brother John might be able to do it. He's better than me at the resin stuff. 2 freight cars and a couple magazines. Hey, Lee, good to see you, man. Glad to have you here. I have spent the first day. I went all the way till now without being on camera, and that's a rare for me lately. Got a new friend I met who I'm helping learn to 3D print, and he's got all kind of skills in other aspects. I don't really want to say too much about it, but because he didn't tell me I could share his business, but I mean, I wouldn't say his name and stuff anyway. But I'm working with a really cool guy who kind of lives the kind of lifestyle I wish I could. He doesn't go to work and stuff. He grows his own stuff and all that. Now I think I'm gonna rerun this wall, this print, because see, now I've had this wall do this to me before, but I think I'm gonna rerun this. I mean, I got it over there. It's I'm just gonna do this print again before I paint it, just to make sure I can paint these. I'm gonna need the color for I'm gonna need a good bit of the color. And I might, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and paint these, but these 2 walls right here came out a little rough looking. I mean, it actually looks cool, kind of, but the problem is the rest of them kind of look more like exactly like they're supposed to, and not so rough. But the rough looks kind of cool. Well, if it's not too rough, some of that I'm not gonna. Actually, that's what's kind of weird is these walls are not, they don't look great though. They don't look as good. I'm going to rerun the whole deck, but it could be that I could definitely use all 3 of these. They really look fine. I don't know why those did that. I might need to go in and check and make sure that I've got my wooden slats pushed down far enough in this, because that's kind of what it looks like. It kind of looks like I might have been messing around with this, and I might have pulled my wooden pieces, my wooden slats. They need to be in there a 0.5 millimeter, and if I've got them sitting just flat on the top, they'll do that. I might need to go check that out. I do, but I will. So I guess with the and here's what's crazy, because I'm used to seeing this thing in HO. I've done a couple of these in HO over the course of the year, and it's definitely a whole lot bigger deal, because you can only print 2, 4, and I think it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is just the walls is 9 different rafts on the HO scale. So big difference there. And so Dave got 2 freight cars, and what kind of freight cars? What they say on them? They knew. Well, yeah, at $40, I guess. Well, I guess they weren't 40. You got a magazine. So a couple magazines. The magazines were probably 5 each, maybe 10. I could be dreaming because you're in Milwaukee. I don't know how prices are there. So you spent $30 each on the cars probably, and I'm assuming you got a discount because you said you went and saw a buddy. So what I'm going to need to do, I have some more to paint too. So I want to mix plenty, but I don't have as much brown to paint as I thought I did, because all these will stay gray to match the roof, because if there was anything, any kind of light bleed, I'd want it to match the roof. So we won't be painting any of that. And all that should be gray too. Let's go ahead and mix some paint. Diffco. I hear you. Yeah, see, I got I have another chair now, and I can lean back better in it. The other one was kind of really small and kind of crickety, and we had refashioned one of AJ's chairs, is what it was, and it was leaning back pretty far because it was a beach lounger, and oh, so you have 10 of those. That's really cool. I need to do that. I need to get another set of those DNRGW coal cars that Roy Eltham got me a couple sets of. That's exactly what I need to do when I give me some extra money. But I think I had 10, and I only have 8 that are working properly right now. One of the screws stripped in the model, and I can't figure out how to get it out without really doing some damage, some serious damage to it. So I've kind of just set that thing down and haven't messed with it. I think the other one I could get working. I just need to do I think I need to do a truck replacement. Something happened to the truck. You built a new workbench in the hobby room, Lee. That's cool. You got a nice comfy place to sit, got a lot of light and all that stuff. And do you have cameras there and all that stuff as well yet? Body mounted couplers and added metal wheel sets yesterday. Yeah. Why in the heck don't they already come with metal wheel sets? Everybody knows that anybody who likes model railroading and actually really does this stuff and would buy, well, I guess some people who are yeah, but there's people with money. Or I guess collectors maybe, but you would think even collectors would want metal wheels on them, huh? So why don't they put metal wheels on them? I think we've had that discussion before, but I got some gauze out, John. Um, the last time I airbrushed on camera, um, it didn't go very well. I think I switched to the warehouse build, which ended up did go really well. Um, but the airbrushing did not. It didn't even start. But right before um, I almost started, I almost used strained it with the gauze, and I decided not to. And the reason why I decided not to is because this gauze looked a little fibery, and I don't know if because John suggested using the gauze, and I guess different gauze can look different ways, but it kind of looks like it's got fibers in it that might come off in the paint, and so I hesitated to use it. Well, I mixed the paint in and couldn't spray anything, and so after the stream was over, a little bit later, um, yeah, well, but John, I because it was clogging up so bad. I tried it later and it worked fine. I didn't have an issue, and it could just be, me thinking, but it does have, little bitty holes. And anyway, that's what I did. But I used it again and it worked well the next time. I did use it. Atlas is trying to cheap out, supposed to be Master Series, nicely detailed though. That's what I don't understand. Um, they're gonna put Master Series on something, and they're gonna take the time to really ensure that it has great detail, and then they put plastic wheels on it. Now, they are a corporation. I mean, unless they just can't buy that many metal wheels, I guess maybe we don't want them buying all the metal wheels because maybe they buy them all up. But you would think that they could place an order for so many metal wheels that they'd get them ridiculously cheap. And then, you know, I guess though that many plastic wheels are even that much more ridiculously cheap. Yeah, I've never bought 100, but I've looked at it one time. There was one time where I was considering needing it, but I think a couple is it you can get boxes of 24 maybe. Anyway, I ended up getting a couple 24s or 312s or something. But you would think that Atlas and them would buy them by the gross. So you know what I wasn't even considering, Dave, is that Atlas makes metal wheel sets. They make them. Their own company makes them, and they won't put them on the cars. That's just making you buy them, and that's crap. And I wouldn't mind it if they didn't put something like Master on it, acting like it's the best thing they've got, and then they're not even going to put the metal wheels on there. That's just kind of crappy, I feel like. But anyway, I'll drop that. So I want to find the. There it is. Nope, it's not. I want to find the other umber that's darker. Still can't figure. Well, raw. Still can't figure out why raw is darker than burnt. But I really like the color of burnt the best. I'm gonna put some raw in to darken it up a little because I'd lightened this on purpose. And so what I've been doing is taking the saran wrap and just, I broke it that time, but anyway, putting it over the top, and it seems to be keeping the paint. And I'm not using old paint this time, so hopefully that'll be fine. I am going to go ahead and mix some because I have some other brown I need to paint too. All right. No, I don't. I don't have any plastic wheels. I mean, I have them, but I don't. I don't use them. I don't know that. I mean, y'all taught me that from jump. I don't know that I've ever um had plastic wheels. I mean, I bet I did when I first got the Bachman set. But I'm pretty sure I did then. What was that thing called? The I can't remember. The little Bachman set I got that was a loop that had the unitrack. Yeah, you have no intention of running them. So somebody that's a collector, um, doesn't care about that, like a rivet counter or somebody, Dave, would that's a collector, would they want metal wheels on there? I guess they would if they were a rivet counter. Also, I think I thinned the paint up a little more. Um, for some reason, my drip technique failed me because it was a little too thick, even though I thought it was fine based on the way it was dripping. That's showing me this is okay too, but I'm a little nervous because last time I had to thin it up a little more. I guess that could have to do with how clean the gun is, maybe. Does it show? No, I don't. I don't get to see that, do I? Oh wow! And you have no intention of ever running those? I think I'm gonna add a little more. But what I've been doing is, as long as I'm not slammed and I have time, I've been going back through every time I print a model here lately, and because I mean, I have gotten a little better at measuring and aligning and all that stuff, and so I've been going back in and putting each piece in its place on the base and kind of making sure that I'm getting it lined up, and then leaving a copy of that there and putting its matching piece there and make sure that everything's lining up, because I'm finding that I think I mentioned it in the last stream. um, I didn't know any better, but there was a point in time where I would, in the larger scales, I would just, if I had a 5 millimeter wall or a 7 millimeter wall or something, I would just shrink it down to 5. Because I didn't, there's no need in having a wall thicker than 5 millimeters, any of them. Not, not when you're not doing any bigger than 200 millimeters at a time, and even if you're dovetailing or whatever. But I was messing up my 45-degree angles because I was squishing them and causing the corners not to connect as well as they can. And so John made a good suggestion in that I could cut the bottom of them, and I wouldn't do that. And so I am going to look at that. The problem with that is wherever I go and make the cut, say I cut 2 millimeters off, I'm going to have to go adjust the base out so the walls sit against their seat and there's not a space there. So there's adjustments that need to be made when I do that too. So here lately, I've been pretty much going through every model piece by piece before I print it. And that's really what's such a bonus about doing these assembled sometimes is you really get to check and see how it's turning out for those that you're just sending instructions to and stuff. Because you want them to have fun. For me here, it's pretty simple. If I got a piece that's a half a millimeter too short, I could just go reprint it. But they're not able to do that. So um, let's see what we think about this color before we pour it in the gun. Pretty dark. Hmm. Do I want them that dark? I mean, it won't look bad, but that is dark. That's medium. There we go. So I sent pictures of Uncle Digger's cabin to Miss Sandra, and she was happy with it. So we hope that her friend, that is the S scale modeler, is going to be happy with it too. But I would think it's definitely good enough to pretend it's good. Okay. I can. All right. I don't think that lightened it up a whole lot. That raw umber there, it did. It did a little. Is that enough though? Yeah, I like that. That looks good. All right. Did I thicken it too much by adding it? Yeah, maybe so. Jeez, Christmas. Oh, okay. Let's see what this is about. So, John, do you have a filament guide on your ender? That can go. Let's do this. And this. I think I got too much water because I don't think the dirty's supposed to go to the clean side. Haha. Now, okay. That guy I was talking about I'm working with, he had to print one because his filament kept getting in that Z in the bar. It kept breaking. His filament kept breaking. And it broke once, and I didn't think anything of it because he was using the 150-foot or whatever spool that Ender sends with it. But the second time he said it broke, I said, "Hold on," and I remembered mine. What happened one time is my filament guide. I printed a filament guide real early, but my filament guide got too loose where it wouldn't stay. Because they have a new version out that's really solid, and it doesn't get like that. But the version they had initially um, was wasn't like that, and so it got loose, and so mine came off, and I had a print where I had walked off and left, and it wrapped. I mean, wrapped around my Z bar that raises and drops the Z stop, wrapped around it. And then what happens is it'll snap the filament eventually and clog your nozzle and all kind of other good stuff too. Mm. You never had that happen without having one? Yeah, but it was his first one. Um, I guess it depends on where he had it set and stuff like that too. And I guess if you were using because it wasn't a regular spool. Maybe a regular spool doesn't do so bad. All right. So what I'm gonna do, close this. Makes me think of Digger every time I do it. And I'm gonna set the gauze just barely in the bucket. This worked last time. Oop, it's thicker than I wanted. I can already tell you. Yeah, we're gonna be thinning that out. Doesn't even want to go through the gauze. All right, back to the drawing board on this. Well, I made a mess. I'm good at that too. All right. Back to the drawing board here. Okay. Oh yeah, you're trying to finish it off. Yeah, you leave the gas in there, that'll cause you problems. Hey, where are my scissors? I just need my scissors. Sure am glad I did that, boy. Makes me happy. Thank goodness I didn't flip over. Here for it causes a bigger mess and makes me really mad. Because if I'd have put my arm down in that mistake, I'd have been unhappy. Now, let's see if we can try this again. I know it'll go through there because I've done it before. There we go. That might be a good indicator itself, as if it'll go through the gauze. So what I'll do is I'll paint these, and then I'll put windows on the back, and then we'll pretty much be getting ready to start putting this together, since I already have the right colors on everything else. Good sign right now. That doesn't mean it'll stay that way, but let's see, are we in there? Yeah. I like the color too. Mm. Don't clog on me. Don't do it. Oh, I think the color that's settling in is a little darker there. You gonna leave? Well, it's late for you. We know. We appreciate you stopping in. Congratulations on your new workbench. It's always nice to go to bed knowing you got a new workbench to wake up to. It's very satisfying when the airbrush works good. And you're not saying bad words. Make sure. I wished I wouldn't have done that. All right. Well, we appreciate you, Lee. We'll see you, bud. It's dark, but it's not shiny. It's a matte dark, which is a whole dark to me. I don't like that shiny filament I have. And the purpose of me buying brown filament is so I don't have to paint it. But when it comes out shiny, it basically defeats the purpose. Just a shiny model looks like a toy. And so I decided to stop using that like that. I mean, I've got a model on my layout just like that. So it's not like I got two models on my layout with the Tuscan kind of red, or what is that? Sienna color filament that I have that's shiny. And then the brown, that dark brown filament I get or used to get. I'm not getting it anymore. The reason why I'm not getting it anymore is I had two bad rolls in a row. And then once I started painting in brown and not using that, I remembered why I liked doing that because the matte look is so much better. But the matte filament is just a pain in the butt on your printers. The maintenance you have to do because of the matte filament leaves that powdery residue in the Bowden tube. And I mean, if you're not printing a whole lot, matte's really not a big deal. But if you're running it a bunch, you don't want to clean the nozzle and stuff every five prints. But if you're not printing every 4 or 5 prints a month, that ain't a big deal. Mm-mm. We're not going to play with that because it makes me mad when that happens. So I'm just going to clear it real quick. I feel like I mixed the paint as good as it could be possibly mixed, but I'll tell you, um, it gets thicker at the bottom of the bucket. I guess that's normal, maybe, but it gets on my nerves. And what I'm doing is running straight alcohol through it now. Make sure we get hmm. Hmm. Got a good seal there. I thought I had it. I maybe do. I do. Water. I start it with alcohol and then I'll run some water through it and make sure it's cleaned out as it can be. Then I'm going to close it and thin the paint a little bit more and stir it. All right. Um, I didn't even think to ask, John. Is that a thing we're doing coming up real soon? Like real soon? Is that is that live or is that just um is that going to be broadcast? I didn't think to even ask. Not that it matters, but oh, I need to tell. That, yeah, it is. If I'm painting just right, I can't hardly see it. No, it's on here. I don't even know why I'm painting this one. Right. Thank you. I wasn't sure. It didn't matter. I just didn't know. I might go get some Wendy's. Get a hamburger. What are you doing for dinner, John? Dave, what about you? What's for dinner? I guess we do. I gotta go look and see too. A large present coming that I need to be paying attention when it gets here because I need to ask him to please put it where it's gonna be staying. I don't want to try to drag it by myself. Gracie must want to go outside. Oh, you made your burger. Okay. I'm telling you, my dog barks to hear her own voice. She will go outside and bark and bark and bark and bark, and I'll go out there and look, and she'll have her head up in the air, just barking up in the air. Don't even try to mention a squirrel coming or a bird coming. Then she's definitely barking. Now, who's doing the Tuesday tonight? Is that Wilmer? I think they didn't have it last week. Robert couldn't do it or something. I wasn't ready. And I definitely wouldn't have been ready because I think I ended up trying to stream the next day and still wasn't ready. So I had 24 more hours to get ready and still wasn't ready. Yeah, I think I will. What time we got? 11. Okay, Dave. We appreciate you for that. Let's see if they all kind of match up or not. This one might need some more. I can just still see, and it could be. I don't know that I think this is what one I was doing when the brush started kind of acting up a little bit, and I was pretending that it wasn't. Still, I was hoping that it. I was in denial still. Satisfying. much so not when it's not. Uh-oh, I moved it. I shouldn't have done that. I'm not supposed to move it like that. And then keep painting. Because it needs to be here for the camera. Hmm. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, the mower's still running. That looks better. Now, I did see a spot on this one that I wanted to fix. That it was where it. Oh, I closed it. Smart. I'm getting better at that. Under there. No, I've had let the. Dang, it's spraying good now. How come right when you're done it starts spraying good? Dave? Now, Dave, I'm assuming though that you clean your airbrush properly most of the time or all the time, and that so yours probably sprays cleanly all the time. I, however, do not. I do a lot of airbrushing, and I just get tired of cleaning it. But I really get tired of fussing about it being clogged too. So I guess it just depends on what you think. So, wow. Let's see how this other one turned out that I did today as well. Put them beside each other. Where is it? Here you go. What's in there? One of them feels a little heavier. They're the same size. One of them feels a little heavier though. Maybe I got a cleaner print out of the heavier one or something. I'm not sure. I got a pie. I do. That's what I got. All right. I do. And man, I tell you what, I really do love it. And I got an amazing deal on it. I wish people would do like what Claude did, having estate sales where people that don't even aren't model railroaders go and pick up the stuff to sell on eBay for a profit. Let's see who this is. Okay. AJ is at a sleepover for a birthday party, and I just got a picture from the parent. You can't have it overhanging because the other models go right beside it, fit right up next to it, which is kind of cool, John, and Dave both, because um, see, I was thinking that I was gonna have to ship this in a pretty big box, but it turns out because all the building, I mean, I wasn't thinking about the fact that I had glued mine all together, of course, but they are independent pieces, and because of that, I can just keep them independent. They just go beside each other, and so I'll be able to kind of stack them, and I won't have to have such a big box. And one of the things I was thinking about is if anybody ever had me do the HO assembled one, that one's almost 4 feet. So I mean, I just the difference between what something looks like if I do it with a brush or if I do it with the Posh, it's just amazing. I make ugly, ugly brush strokes for some reason. They're really bad, and I can't get rid of them. And I mean, my whole first 2 or 3 years in the hobby, I was using brushes. Just awful paint jobs I've been made. All right. Now, I don't like that that's happening. I'm going to have to go ahead and reprint that too. They're they're in sections, but they're not supposed to come apart, and they did, and I'm not happy about that. Shoot. And what I really hope, no, I haven't sent one off like that. I rescaled it and sent one off like that. Thank goodness. Have I? No, I didn't. So, but that's something that is is really good about being able to do the assemblies. Is I can see where something like that can happen. That I mean that piece can go right back together just like it's supposed to, but it's not supposed to come apart like that. It's supposed to come apart like that in HO scale. It's been rescaled and it's been regrouped and they're all together. And I must not have clicked a button or something. Kind of what that's acting like. But in HO scale, um, this is 4 pieces. This is 4 pieces. The that roof that I just showed you is in 4 pieces as well, and that's I mean 4 prints. All right, hold on a sec. Stand by just a moment. Sorry about this, guys. I got a friend who is sitting somewhere needing help, and I need to message somebody. I got a phone number that can help. All right. Anyway, yeah, it's real clean. And so one thing I want to do is what time we getting to? All right. I have to leave myself enough time to go get some food and get back for 7:30 train time. I might even get a frosty. I usually don't go anywhere out to eat without AJ being here just because I'm pretty cheap and I don't do it a whole lot. And so but grocery pickup is tomorrow. And so um I am not going to scrounge because I did that last night. So, not another hot dog. There's nothing wrong with hot dogs, but I, I had a hot dog last night. I'm not doing that again. And not going to the dollar store because I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow. Now, I'm not going in the grocery store. I'm just going to pick stuff up. But, uh, okay. I'm not sure why my little rocks. So, John, help me think about something before we get off here if you're still there. All right. Uh-oh, I got to check this one. Um, so if I took a piece, I guess I do have another one over there. I can just go make the same size. What I was going to ask is I took a piece and I had to cut it up because it was HO, obviously, blah, blah, blah. And what I noticed is when I made the HO scale, that's when I noticed that the door was a little big. So I scaled it down to the right scale. And I scaled the whole model down appropriately from the HO scale. So then I took because I had rescaled that to the proper scale and they were all done right, I just took that version and scaled it to N scale. So now I've got 6 or 7 pieces that have dovetail joints or cutouts in them in HO that don't need to have them in N, obviously, because it's not more than the size of one print deck. But I've got, I can still see my cutouts for the, the other pieces, whereas these would be individual pieces that would snap together in HO. And um, the reason why, here's the thing too, right? So you don't have to go in there anymore and cut these things out real fine to make sure they're perfect, so these things will snap in. Um, so they snap in without having to be deboogered, really. I mean, unless there's some in there, but you don't have to do any cleaning on them really, unless it's a bad print, and they'll snap in without having to be tooled. But because of that, they're leaving a little line in there. And so when I rescale them down to the size that they don't need to be in sections, and then I regroup it back together, I'm still getting these. You can still see the lines. And what happened on the roof is the lines were enough to where it made it come apart. And I don't want those to be in 4 pieces. So that was a long question. How do we fix that? Dave CRE and 30. All right, cool. Um, I'll be back for probably a little bit of Dave, and then we got a meeting we're going to kind of or something. But so without going, I guess I'm still haven't asked the question. So without going back in here and ungrouping the whole thing, I guess you could really take one piece and ungroup it all the way out till they were together. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to get back into one solid piece without the cutouts in it. Um, Now, what I feel like I can do is I can go grab one of the old versions of these. I need to figure out how to do it. But what I can do is go grab the old one of this that's in N scale that's too big. And then I can just change it to this size. And I can go grab the old one of this in N scale that's too big, and I can just change the size. The problem is I have reworked the stairs on this one since I've done this model, and that's why I'm really asking. There are things that I have done on this one that I don't want to go back and undo or have to redo. So that's really where it's coming from. So just grabbing one piece of it, ungroup all the way out. I'm going to try that, because what'll happen is then I'm still going to have my stairs that I want. And so what I'll do tomorrow evening is I will have the windows in these walls over here. And shoot. Sorry about that. I got my answer to help my friend. All right. County locked the shed and everything for the week, Barry said. I just asked him if John sent an email about it, and he hasn't responded yet. All right. So what I'm going to do is off camera, I will do the windows on all this tomorrow morning, and I will have all these ready, and we will go ahead and we will do the assembly on all the buildings, and then we'll have to come back in and do all the accessories for it as well. One thing that I'm going to have to figure out how I am going to do is the walkways that go in here. The walkways go in front of all these buildings, and it goes all the way down. And if I'm going to send the model in pieces and not totally assembled, I'm not going to be able to assemble that part. And so I'm going to have to make a decision on that. I might go ahead because this model's not that big. I'm going to probably go ahead and do this. I'll go ahead and put this and make it whole. And because it's only going to be about 20 inches, and I can probably swing that. The shipping ain't going to be too awful for that. So, um, John, I'm going to see you in about an hour. And Dave, I appreciate you, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for coming. And if you're watching the replay, if you're watching and you didn't chat, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I could use the watch time, so thank you very much. And I will see you guys on tomorrow at 6 p.m. train time. That's Eastern time. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to put all these buildings together. And that's probably all we'll do in that one. And then we'll have to come back and do the accessories and things like that. On over the weekend or on Friday. So y'all be good, take care, and I'll see y'all soon. Thank you for coming.